Welcome in. It's The Matchup, presented by DraftKings. I'm your host, Travis Fulton. Thank you for making us part of your day. A brand new show starting this week, coming at you each and every week to get you ready for some PGA Tour golf and fill out those fantasy lineups. DraftKings, well, they're the leader in fantasy sports, and they put you in the center of the action with a free chance to win a $1 million prize with your first deposit. All you have to do, download the app, use my promo code Travis, and off you go. And I'm here to even help you fill out those lineups because you need 6 players and you need to manage the salary. You just can't take all the top players every time. You've got to manage the players and you got to manage the salaries. How are we going to do that? Because the field, it is deep this week. Check this out, 109 PGA Tour winners in the field, 24 major champions. The top 5, they're all here in 16 of the top 20. Now, what's interesting about the Colonial Country Club is historically its spot on the PGA Tour, well, it doesn't attract the long ball hitter, the modern day bombers off the tee. They usually skip this one. They don't get the advantage here with this golf course, and it kind of lends itself to the more strategic player, the plotter who doesn't have the distance. Kevin Na's won here. Kevin Kisner's won here. Jordan Spieth, Zach Johnson, David Toms, just to name a few, but there's room for the long ball hitters as well. Phil's won here. Adam Scott's won here. Justin Rose just a couple years ago. But the top 5 are here, including Rory McIlroy making his first appearance at the Charles Schwab Challenge. So what's going to give? The modern day long ball hitter, or is it going to lend itself to the more strategic, shorter hitter? I think there's room for both in your fantasy lineup. So let's get right to it with our first matchup. Well, we got to start with the number 1 player in the world, Rory McIlroy, versus the number 2 player in the world, Jon Rahm. Rory coming in 11,800, Jon Rahm coming in at 11,000. Starting with Rory, number 1 player in the world now for over 100 weeks. Only 2 guys have done that, Greg Norman and a guy by the name of Tiger Woods. Rory is in full control right now. He just feels like full control of his life, both off the golf course and on the golf course. 31 years of age. Earlier this year, before everything shut down 3 months ago, 6 starts in 2020, all 6 of them in the top 5. Statistically, 320 off the tee. How good did he look at the tailor-made driving relief? I mean, unbelievable, grabbing the driver, wide stance, fully engaged, trying to keep it out there with the young buck, as he did Matthew Wolff. I mean, Rory can really get after it with the driver. Strokes gained off the tee, 6. Strokes gained approach, big stat at the Colonial. He's 3rd, okay? 3rd strokes gained approach. Strokes gained around the green, 19th. His bugaboo, at times, putting, strokes gained, 92nd. I like what he's doing, though, with Brad Faxon. More instinctive, more feel. We're going to continue to see that play out. Now, Jon Rahm, let's take you back to the Players' Championship. Not just 3 months ago, but the year before that. Jon Rahm had the lead late on Sunday, left side, fairway bunker. His caddy's trying to talk him out of it. Just lay up. Tries to hook the long iron out of it, goes in the water, makes 6, shoots 76, and loses to Rory McIlroy. Since then, though, he wins at Zurich, 2 times on the European Tour, wins the Order of Merit. Earlier this year, 2nd at the Farmers, T3 at WGC Mexico. He's got the length off the tee, 310, the approach game 5th. And let me tell you something about Jon Rahm. Don't get, bogged up and skewed with this little short, compact, powerful swing with the bowed wrist. This dude can putt, man. This guy is one of the best putters in the world, currently strokes gained, putting 4th. A little expensive, but I'm going to give the edge to Rory. Match number 2, Justin Rose, 14th in the official World Golf Rankings, coming in at 9,000 in DraftKings, taking on Tony Finau, 16th in the World Rankings, coming in at 8,700. I'll start with Justin Rose. He was the champion here at the Charles Schwab Challenge back in 2018, but it's been a struggle for Justin Rose over the last year. You look at him early in the year, before the break, he missed the cut at the Farmers, T56 at Genesis, missed the cut at the Honda, missed the cut at Arnold Palmer Invitational. This break, I think it's probably done Justin Rose some good because he's had to kind of reconsider some things. One of those things, his equipment deal. Justin Rose was the #1 player when he played TaylorMade equipment. He was the #1 player in the world, and then he left TaylorMade and signed a deal with Homa. I'm going to say that again. He was the #1 player in the world with the TaylorMade equipment, and then he left them at that point and went to Homa, brand new clubs. I'm sure they're great, but things have went downhill from there. There's other factors. I get it. They're both great clubs, but why do you change equipment when you're the #1 player in the world? I get the feeling that Justin's had to reflect a little bit. He's back with TaylorMade, getting used to those bats once again, going back to where he's comfortable. I kind of like Justin Rose here with this restart coming up in Fort Worth. Now taking on Tony Finau. Tony Finau, he's one of those guys that seems to break your heart, man, right? You love the guy. Here he comes. He's got 1 win on the PGA Tour. He's going to win again at the Waste Management Phoenix Open, and somehow, some way, he didn't win that golf tournament. He could put a little pressure last year on Kevin Na. He was a runner-up here last year and just couldn't get anything to go down with the putter. The putter seems to hold him back. He can be a little inconsistent with the flat stick. Strokes gained putting, he's 150th. Last year, he caught lightning in a bottle and was gaining 4.7 strokes. Smoked it strokes gained putting. Can he do it again this year? I do think he's going to get his second win here soon this year in 2020, but it's not going to be this week. Justin Rose, polished player, classy player, back to the basics, going back to where he won. Give me Rose. Match number 3, Jordan Spieth versus Kevin Na. Woo-hoo. This is a good one and a thinker. Jordan Spieth coming in at 8,000. Kevin Na coming in at 7,600. I know Kevin Na, defending champion of the Charles Schwab Challenge. We'll get to him in a second. Just hold on a minute, Kevin. Jordan Spieth. What do we know about Jordan Spieth? Here are the absolutes, the givens that we know. Jordan Spieth, he is 56 in the world right now. He's a 3-time major champion. He won here in 2017, has been runner-up twice. We also know that his putting is back. Went through a little slump there. His short game, his putting, he's starting to look like Jordan Spieth again. We also know that his ball striking has been a disaster. Strokes gained off the tee, 195th. Strokes gained approach, key statistic here, 198th. But perhaps this little break, 3 months, rumor has it, he's starting to get back to a little more of a feel player once again, not so technical, looking at video, TrackMan, but just getting back to doing what he knows, the genius that he is in recreating those feels. We'll come back to that. Kevin Na, he's won 4 times now on the PGA Tour. When he won here in 2019, that was his 3rd win. He's won since then in October at the Shriners Hospital. He's like the modern day Corey Pavin, right, who's also won here at Colonial. Kevin Na, he's not going to beat you off the tee, right? He's going to kind of bun it out there and lose strokes, 207th, but his approach game, polished. Strokes gained approach, 58th. Around the green, even better. Strokes gained, 41st. On the green, even better yet. Strokes gained, he's 7th. This golf course is made for Kevin Na. He played great last year and won for his 3rd time, and then again later on that year for the 4th time. But I feel like Jordan Spieth has hit the bottom. He's officially starting to climb himself back in. This 3-month hiatus was the perfect scenario for him. You think about it, 3 more months, hit the restart button. He comes back to a place that he knows extremely well. He's won at. He's been the runner-up twice, and there's no fans. There's no added pressure. Jordan Spieth is a genius, and we're going to start seeing him get back to the level of play starting this week, building some confidence. I'm going with Jordan Spieth over the defending champion, Kevin Na. Match number 4, Daniel Berger versus Billy Horschel. Love this matchup, right? This is where I love DraftKings and the lineup, because you have to find some value now down into these salaries. $7,400 for Horschel, $7,700 for Daniel Berger. Let's start with Billy Horschel, 34th ranked player in the world. Good venue for Billy Horschel. He has shown some form. T34 back in 2017. Nice showing last year. T19 at the Charles Schwab Challenge. You know, Billy, good driver of the ball, can get a little bit inconsistent with the approach game. That's always been my concern with Billy, but he's a solid short game player, and he's a good putter. I like him here. He seems to be getting to know the golf course. Wouldn't be surprised to see another top 20 out of Billy Horschel. He's taking on Daniel Berger, though. You know, I talked about Spieth Spieth was welcoming the break, the 3-month break. Berger had to be beside himself because he was playing tremendous golf, really coming into his own. He had 9 events, 6 top 25s, and 3 top 10s, considerably improved from a year ago. Statistically, listen to this off the tee. He's 41st. Approach, he's 16th. Around the green, he's 67. Putting, he's 26th. Last year, T53 at the Schwab. Those are impressive statistics. You usually always see a weakness. Not much of a weakness in Daniel Berger's game. I think he keeps it going. Hot play. Give me Daniel Berger over Billy Horschel at the Schwab. Now, so I need 2 more players to round out my lineup of 6. So I took Rory McIlroy. I've got him in there with Jordan Spieth. I'm going with Billy Horschel and Daniel Berger. Those are the 4 that I've got in there right now. Now, I picked Berger over Horschel, but I'm going to take both of them, and I'm leaving out that higher price guy with Justin Rose. I took Rose over Finau. I like that, but I'm going to leave him out of my lineup. So 2 more. Who do I got? I'm going to spend $7,500 here on Harris English. Harris English has really been taking strides forward, really kind of resurrected his career, changed instructors there a while back, and it's really boded well from him. He's the most improved ball striker over the last season. Check this out. Biggest combined gain, strokes gain off the tee plus strokes gain approach, 1.4. Next closest, Cameron Champ at 0.9. I like what Harris English is doing. Clearly, he's got his confidence back. Went to school at the University of Georgia. The Bulldog, playing good golf. I'm plugging him in as my 5th and my 6th. Well, I'm going back to the pride of Clarkston, Washington. Joel Damon, $7,500. That's what I've got left to spend. Joel's 22nd, strokes gain approach. That's a big number here. Struggles with his putting, can be a little inconsistent with his putting, but he's been showing great form this year. AT&T, tied for 14th. Tied for 5th at Genesis, tied for 5th at the Arnold Palmer Invitational. So he has clearly found something. I like Joel Damon to round it out. There's my team. Who's your team? Go in there. DraftKings, download the app, set up an account, and use my promo code, Travis, and you'll get a free entry with your first deposit into the daily game, the PGA Daily Game. $2.5 million up in the air, $1 million to the winner. It's fun, keeps you engaged. This is just one of probably 3 lineups that I'll put out there. So I like that. Submitted. There it is. The first show in the books. The matchup presented by DraftKings. Charles Schwab Invitational. Golf is back. I couldn't be more excited. We'll be back next week when the tour heads up to Hilton Head. I'll give you my 4 head-to-head matchups plus my team, and I want to see who your team is and how they do this week. Get the app, use my promo code Travis, 2.5 up in the air, $1 million to the winner. With your first deposit, you play for free. See you next week.